Here at FreshFM, we sincerely appreciate the fact that you're able to honor this our invitation once again, like you and Oli, and we thank you for joining us this wonderful morning. I'm sure you know the Yoruba Nini, Omo Yoruba Niwa, and I'm sure the people of your states want to first hear from you before we begin to fire our cylinders.
I want to say good morning to my good people of the Pay Center States, our own there or your states. I want to say good morning to everyone out there. I'm happy to be back here once again, almost a year, like I said. And the first station I will be visiting since the journey to 2023 started with all the party congresses and primaries being fixed. I want to say good morning to the chairman of FreshFM, Chief Yinka Ayefele, my own dear brother, to the captain of the ship, the anchorman of political circuit, Mayor Isaac Brown, and our number one journalist in Oyo State, the chairman of NUG Oyo State chapter, my own dear brother, Demola Babalola, Mr. Pastor Oladile, I call him Pastor too. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you, yes, sir.
And our very dear lover of Oyo State, who knows the in and out, the back and front of Oyo State, Gary Adekombi, the political editor of Tribune. I'm happy to be in your midst once again. Thank you very much.
I think it's a big deal the fact that you just got this national award, right? OFR. Uh, how are you feeling this morning? You know, your journey in life and at the point when your country chose to honor you at this point in time. What does that speak to in you?
Well, when your country honors you, you feel recognized, you feel motivated, and but the important part of it is that you also feel challenged because it shows that it's more like compensation, it's more like recognition of your past activities and contribution to the nation building, but it is more of a challenge that you can't just do anything like any other person. You be watchful of your steps, of what you say, and of even the way you pursue your career, either politically or business wise. It's a lot of expectations, but I feel very grateful to Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for the recognition. I feel very highly honored.
You, I think the point you just raised that you see this particular award as more of a challenge to spur you to do more for the society, and well, it's feeding into the narrative of your drive as we speak. Let's get this conversation started, and I think charity should begin at home. I spoke about the fact that you had over 355,000 people in the state who voted for you in the last election. For some of them, they may still be loyal to you. For some of them, you know, maybe the last 3 years they've seen things differently. And for those who did vote otherwise, the last 3 years was have shaped people's position moving forward as far as 2019 is concerned. Uh, there's no doubt about the fact that for your APC, your party, as we speak this morning, is trying to patch things together. Could you speak to party faithfuls listening to us this morning, and of course, lovers of your party, where things actually stand as regard the challenge your party is actually facing moving forward? Whatever ambition you have, you can only get it done when your party is one, united, and cohesive. Where will you say things stand as far as the cohesiveness of your party in the state?
Well, let me first of all thank all loyal party members, all Progressive Congress Party in our state for sticking their ground, for holding on to the faith, because this is actually a party to beat in the coming elections. I don't just say anything, I always have my reasons for it. For the first time in history, party politics in Oyo State, this is the first dispensation whereby the opposition party attract more. It's broad, and it says something about the acceptability of the party. If I start mentioning the of persons or individuals or groups that have left the ruling party to join our party, which is the opposition party, will not live here today. The names are out there. Not just ordinary party members of the opposition party. We are talking about party stalwarts, active party stalwarts that actually contributed to the victory of the ruling party in the last election. Within the first 1 year, we know how the coalition collapsed, and all the coalition partners actually joined the APC. Even those that are actually the aboriginal PDP, just 2-3 years down the line, they've all left the ruling party and they are with APC now. It says something, and kudos to our party members. We're not in government, we've not been in government in the last 3 years, but our people have been holding on to their own. They've talked to the party, and even there seem to be more activities in APC that is even an opposition party than the ruling party, and it is more attractive to the general public. If you can cast your mind back to about 1.5 years ago, when we carried out our registration of our party, I mean, you saw the enthusiasm, you saw the welcoming attitude of the general public to join the APC. I can tell you that the number of APC members, active card-carrying members of APC, is more than double of PDP, and we are still counting. Even when party stalwarts of PDP are moving to APC, they have not stopped, and I believe this will happen till the end of the regime, the current regime, from the feelers that we get from PDP members. The others are still with the current governor. I believe they're just taking their time. They're just waiting for the appropriate time for them to jump the ship and join the party that everybody loves, which is APC. So my thanks go to all our party leaders, all our party members, and even the journalists, the press, that have seen these things, seen things objectively. They have not spared the current government. They pointed out their weaknesses, and it's even coming out on a daily basis. And I thank you for the objectivity. You have really contributed a lot to the political development of this state. Internal party crisis. This is given. You cannot rule it off. It happens in every party. It is now your internal conflict resolution process that will determine how fast you resolve this crisis and you bond together again as a party towards the 2023 elections. You may think we have factions in APC. We don't see that. Out there is worse. You rather stick to your party and support whoever we have picked. That nobody goes anywhere. It should be from fry pan to fire. But the option is not attractive.
Can I put you on the spot this morning? Chief Adelabu, you just told us now that your primary is coming up. At the end of the primary, where would they go? Because outside is not an option.
Yeah.
Is it fair to also say, Chief Adelabu, if you don't pick your party ticket in this forthcoming ticket for APC, will you support them?
In an almost impossible situation, that's very good. I don't have anywhere to go because my own politics is not do or die. Like I always told you, that I've got my second address, and everybody knows that. I don't put my eggs in one basket. Politics is passion for me. Politics is readiness to serve my people. And politics to me, sincerely, it's secondary. It's not a way of livelihood.
Looking at the field of your APC aspirants, I won't be mentioning names. Of course, those that are also jostling for this ticket. What will you say this morning to party faithful listening to you makes you the best option for your APC against 2023 election?
That's in fact, I will have called it a rhetoric question because I should expect a response for this. But you can answer the question for yourself if you are the person writing the examination. The news is, if I'm not picked, that I'm picked to fly the flag of the party will not be a news because that is the tradition of the progressives. And I can go on and give you examples. It has happened to people in the past. So it shall happen to those of the present. And the future will not be an exception. Our own leader, Senator Ishaq Abiola Ajimobi, may his soul continue to rest in peace. That's my own political mentor. He also contested in 2007, got good votes. One way or the other, he did not get to the government house. But he still stayed back, stood by the party. And the party saw him as the only person that could actually chase out the incumbent government. It happened in 2011 when they defeated him. It happened in Ogun State with Bikuni Amusu. It happened in Ondo State with Akeredolu when he contested in 2012, got good votes, but did not get to the government house. 2016, he came back. It happened to Fayemi. I mean, the happy thing about this thing is that when they come back wiser, they come back more mature, and all of them, they've all spent 2 terms. It is when you get it on a platter of gold, you don't value it. You are likely to misbehave, which is the case that we are witnessing in Oyo State now. The victory was given to Sheyi on a platter of gold from 39,000 votes in 2015, just 3-4 years down the line, because of support of SDP, ADC, ZLP, Abaladoja, Naleyin, Sharafa, Ayorinde, all of them, just because they didn't want my former boss to install a successor. They never looked at the appropriateness or suitability, or even competence and capability of the governor. But because they just didn't want Abiola Ajimobi to install a successor.
So
I'm coming.
If you are pushing if you are pushing the theory of people having to repeat classes, I think on the issue of the issue of Governor Makinde you just mentioned now, I think that is absolutely incorrect. He himself was asked to repeat the class. He contested in 2015. He lost. He got how many thousand votes, and he came back again for the platform PDP. So the issue of you now being asked to repeat your own class, I think is also fair to Governor Makinde. He was lucky to also repeat. He's lost.
No,
and he won because he said he got his victory.
Let me tell you, if Makinde had contested this election without the coalition, Dawson would have scored up to 100,000. We all know that.
No, I mean nobody's disputing that. He himself never.
He scored less than 40,000 in 2015. That was not a good score. He was distant number 5 after Abiola Ajimobi, Ladoja, Akala, Teslim Folari. Then Sheyi Makinde, distant number 5. You understand? So he stood no chance in 2019. But because there was a common enemy to all the other parties, so they came together and they were lucky. They beat us, even though we still scored number of votes that was more than what my boss Ajimobi scored in 2015 for the second time. If we had all contested individually, it was clear that Adelabu Bayo would have been the State governor in 2019. But that's how God wanted it. You understand? That is not the only reason why I believe I'm the person to be filled.
The best aspirant in this field.
Yes. Number 2 reason is let's look at. We have looked at the popularity. I contested in 2019. I scored 357 votes. The closest person to me among the aspirants in APC today that has tried to contest governorship was my book, Teslim Folari. He scored less than 70,000 in 2015. I mean, if you were the one and they gave you a candidate of 57,000 votes, another of 69 or 79,000 votes, which one will you pick? You understand? You just put your best hands, best foot into the field. You understand? So I believe in terms of popularity, APC will be ready to field someone and just had an election and scored such number of votes. Then in terms of contribution to the society. Everything I have is in the States. I can tell you that. And I challenge any other politician in this state today to come out and tell me that he is more passionate about your state than I am. Almost all my investments are here. Since I left my job at Central Bank of Nigeria, I don't think I've traveled out of this more than 3-4 times since 2019 after the election. I've remained here. I've established more businesses. I've expanded more. I've employed more youths. I employ almost 2,000 employees here in Oyo State. Majority of them are youth. So I can tell you that I'm the highest employer of youth in this state. So if I could do this in my private capacity, if I have the government platform, you can imagine what I can do with it. It's not just about me. It's about the state. It's about the creation of employment. It's about the eradication of poverty in our land. It's about making our own state an El Dorado and regain our position in the community of states. And in terms of ability to fund your election, I believe that is not controversial. Even though we spent so much money to prosecute the last election, I haven't said that I'm tired, because this is also a lifelong ambition for me, and it's what I really want. If I could sacrifice that my job for it, that means I want it. So I'm ready to fund my election without waiting for the ticket to be shopping money here and there. So I've not told the party I'm tired. In terms of staying with the party after the election, this thing happened to some people in the past. They ran away. After the election, we went to court, from tribunal to appeal court to Supreme Court. And we lost narrowly at the Supreme Court, but we accepted the decision of the Almighty Allah. And we went back. We stood with the party. We were funding the party. We stabilized the party. So if I did not run away after losing the election, I believe the party too will want to pay back. You understand? And compensate.
You have an OG with the party.
So I believe, and in terms of being in touch with my followers, party members, even general public, I've been there in the last 36 months. I've not gone anywhere, not even Lagos. Last year, I can tell you, I did not visit Lagos more than 3 times. I have a house there, I don't live there. This year, I've not been to Lagos more than once, from January to May, because this is my home. This is where I want to stay. I don't want to travel 2 weeks to Dubai or to London and be beating my chest and enjoy my life. I want to start enjoying my life every day, because some people live in Dubai every day of the year, 365 days. Some people are residents in London, indigents. They enjoy good life for 365 days a year. Why won't I be able to enjoy good life in Ibadan and Oyo State in general? So that is my passion, and that's why I still remain in this politics. So I actually challenge any of the aspirants. We are all brothers anyway, because we have learned from the past. When after getting or securing the ticket in 2019, 2018, we did not do proper reconciliation. This time around, we don't want to take it to that level of, oh, after getting the ticket, we will not work with you. No, we have learned our lessons. So the fight is fair. It's like family
Affairs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't want to say so much about our internal party. Leave it to us. We'll resolve it. And people will know that we'll soon get bonded again and be in the best position to chase these governments out of our good come 2022.
If you're just joining us, you're still Chief Bayo at Adelabu. We want this wonderful morning on the political circuit. Let's go straight away to the critical talking point away from party politics, state of governance. Of course, your background is well known to everyone. You're an accountant, and you rose to that pinnacle as far as CBA is concerned. I want a brutal, honest opinion as regard the state of finance, the fiscal policies that you have seen in this state in the last 3 years, in terms of the health of your state finances from your perspective.
Thank you very much. Everything that government does, no matter how robust your plan is, how all-inclusive your plan is, the number one requirement for you to implement such a plan is funding. Even they say that when there's no money, you shouldn't even start any discussion at all. You understand? So it is very key, and thank God that is my own training. That is my background. I sleep finance, I drink finance, I eat finance. You understand? So I believe I'm in a very good position to comment about the finance of our state. And I will look at it from three perspectives. Number one is the available finance, the available funding. Let's even say you are not able to raise the funding beyond the current level. What you now do that can easily impact the lives of the indigenous and residents of the states. I want to say that this government has failed when it comes to setting priorities, because what we have seen all over in the past 3 years is misplaced priorities. The little funding that we have should have gone to the basics, that everybody will have a feel of government spending. If a total of between 16 and 20 billion with this mega finance that we have in Oyo State is being spent on building garages and motor parks, I believe the priority is misplaced. How much have we done concerning health care, which concerns everybody, from the primary health care down to the secondary and tertiary?
You're not aware that all the PHCs in the state are being renovated?
It's just lip service. These 36 years, I challenge them to come up with the numbers they have renovated and the new ones they have built. You can count them on these our fingers in 36 months. What does it take to build or renovate a primary healthcare center? The target should be in between 1 kilometer, there must be a PhD. In fact, every ward should have a PhD. You don't bombard Adelabu General Hospital or go to UCH with every ailment or every wound that you have. What we were used to when we were growing up, we had dispensaries all over. I was living at Okeaju. There was a dispensary at Adelabu at Gates. After playing football, who stroll down to Adelabu and will get treated. We don't have to come to Adelabu or go to Lioro General Hospital. You understand? So how many of PhDs have been renovated? How many new ones have they built? How many health employees have they employed? Health workers, health equipment, how many have they brought into these states? Even in terms of drugs, how much have they provided the existing hospitals? So if you have not done that, and what that bothers you is to build garages and parks because of some association.
But when you were driving down to FreshFM, you saw the one you saw. Isn't that beautiful?
So what's the value that it has on the states? By the roundabout, we built the bus park. It's not even appropriate anyway. It looks like a kiosk. Do you need such an edifice? And what has happened to the new garage park? How much of use have we put it into? That was built by Hajimobi. It's underutilized. Upon that, you are building one. Ibadan is not like Lagos. Ibadan is a transit city. How many people travel to the east from here? How many travel to the north? They all travel from Lagos and they pass through here. We should be providing bypasses. We should concentrate on the circular road. Why building bus parks all over? You have in Ojo, you have two in Iwo Road, you have one at New Garage. How does it impact people? Number one. Number two is how much have we touched in education, which is the bane of development itself. This government has relegated education in the scheme of things. So I believe we have not done that. I'm not saying no. Transportation system, you want to re-engineer it, it's good. But sincerely, it's supposed to be secondary. We have to talk on the basics first. When you have surplus, you can do whatever. Garages and bus. So that is utilizing the available fund judiciously. The government has failed. In terms of raising fund, the government government should tell us by how much, because that's what they said when they came in. By how much have they raised the internal revenue of the state?
Are you not impressed with the alternate project funding initiative of this government?
That is trash. That is trash.
Trash?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have a break.
I told them.
We'll have a break. We'll have a break. I want to know what is trash about it when we come back for the news break. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
0.9 FM, professionalism nurtured by experience.
Stay tuned for the news on Nigeria's most listened to radio station, Fresh.